What is up, fellow bench warmers? Welcome to another daily Fantasy Quickie. What's up, guys? Welcome. It's a Saturday here in the Philippines, and we hope you are enjoying your day. And we hope there are 2 days left. In case you are in the playoffs, there are 2 days left before the end of the week.
Or the end of your seasons.
For the end of your season, if you are in the playoffs. For those who are not yet in the playoffs, there's a lot of free agents that you can pick up as well. Given all the injuries, the rest, you can already observe some trends that are happening and see what type of strategies that you can probably do as you enter your playoffs next week or in a couple of weeks. Some managers are already messaging us, and for those who are having buys next week, they're asking for a certain plan already, or what to do, or should they add this and that. It's really hard to say at this point, especially if you have a buy next week.
If we have a buy next week, I think one of our followers, Ron Araneta, right? He always posts the Yahoo schedule. Yep. He posted the one in advance already for 17, 18, 19, and 20.
Yep.
It's in our group.
Shout out to that to our follower Ron Araneta, who also found us, I think, in YouTube. And thanks for helping us out.
Yeah, it's in the group. You can get that if you have a bye next week. You look at the week 18 schedule. Of course, straight from my head, I don't remember that clearly, but what I know is Toronto has a 5-game week. That's for sure. Now the others, I'm not too sure, but it's there.
The problem with Toronto, they may have some 5-game week, but there's no assurance that their top players will play in that 5 games.
Yeah. But the point is, if you have a bye and it's already past the trade deadline anyway, you can't trade for those star players anyway. So what you should be looking at is maybe some, like one of our followers again also said he's going to drop Malachi Flynn already because next week is a 2-game week and he cannot hold him. So if you have a bye next week and somebody drops Flynn,
you can pick him up.
Yeah, you can pick him up. So it's a matter of, timing everything. Like if you have 3 moves for next week since you're a bye, you can really time properly those 3 moves. For me, if there's a must-add already, you add it. If there's no must-add, as I said yesterday, you have to wait it out until the latter portions where teams are trying to catch up, and then they're gonna drop some players that may not be stars, but like Flynn or maybe a Gafford or maybe
Kobe
a Panther, maybe a Kobe White. They have to drop these players to add more games at the latter part of the week. And since you don't have a match, you can just,
pick these players, right?
Yeah, pick them up.
Players
right?
like Flynn, like Hayes.
Maybe Birch.
Yep.
I think Birch could be dropped. Birch might be dropped next week by some of the managers that still have.
Some managers might have dropped Kobe White before the Levine injury.
Maybe that's
and hasn't
one thing
cleared,
also.
Or will just be cleared from the waivers. You might be able to use your waiver on him, because he's been the main guy main scorer now in Chicago. But let's talk first about injuries and some injury updates. Donovan Mitchell, another
of our durables.
I don't even want to use the word durable anymore because it seems like there's no such thing. Or it's a curse word.
among the first rounders, we said the durables are Lillard and Harden. So both are out. And then among the mid-rounders, we said Jamal, Donovan, and Tobias. We said they have lots of warts, but one thing for sure, when you need them, they'll be there. They're all out.
There's one player I'm also thinking about when you talk about durability and
which is,
should I say the name?
Yeah. Sure.
Maybe Chris Middleton is another.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that name. But that's also my player. So stop. Don't stop it. Don't jinx it anymore.
you don't. You said. But you know who's durable?
Russell Westbrook.
Kevin Love.
Kevin Love is still playing.
No news of missing tomorrow's game.
2021 is as effed up as 2020. Everything is now upside down. Russell Westbrook is playing, Kevin Love is playing, Blake Griffin is playing, but the durables are out. Donovan Mitchell's injury was a freak injury. No matter how durable someone is, if you roll your ankle, you roll your ankle. The good thing is it's not a high ankle sprain. It looks like a lower ankle sprain, but he was in very, very terrible pain. And today's week, as Jeremy said, week 17 is coming up. I would be surprised if he plays in week 17. I'll be surprised if he plays in week 17.
If you are bye next week, then good for you. If you have Donovan Mitchell, you'll probably be resting that 1 week. Really, Utah don't have any incentive of rushing him into play, because even if they drop to maybe the second seed, they'll be fine. Ingles could be a good add in case.
Ingles is a must add. Now we have to wait for the MRI. Because the MRI will usually tell us if it's grade 1, grade 2, or grade 3 sprain or whatever. So we wait for that. And then, but for the meantime, there's no real. I think Ingles is not available in your leagues. I don't know a league that Ingles is available. But if somehow he is, it's you're a 10-team league or a very shallow 12-team league, you have to pick him up. Now, aside from him, indirectly, I think Royce O'Neal. Indirectly, Royce O'Neal could be. He's been struggling, but with Donovan out, like with Zach LaVine, the usage will just spread out to the other players.
And Royce O'Neal is not really known as a scorer, so you'll get probably Royce O'Neal. You'll have a lot of stats that you can get from Royce O'Neal.
But Royce O'Neal is he's averaging 10 rebounds a game the past 5 to 6 games. He's been solid there, but he's not a scorer. But without Donovan, I think his scoring would increase.
Yep.
So if he gives you 8, 9, or even 10 points and 8, 9 rebounds, it's almost a double at a small forward position. Yep. So that's very, very valuable. So I think Royce O'Neal, indirectly in Utah, will be the best option. But there are other players that could approximate Donovan on other teams that have this kind of similar. Cole Anthony, that's the
Cole
player.
Anthony,
I think he might be available in some leagues.
He should be available in a lot of leagues, or in most leagues, because of he hasn't really been. What can we say? How can we say this? Really, he hasn't really played very well, or the stats aren't overwhelming in the sense that there are a lot, but it's enough to maybe compensate a loss in case Donovan Mitchell misses time.
I think Cole Anthony, the only thing he doesn't do as well as Donovan is the 3-pointers. They both shoot not too good. The scoring, of course, Donovan is a winner there, but at least the steals, the rebounds, the assists, I think he could give you similar numbers, and he's starting. So Cole Anthony is one player you could replace Donovan Mitchell with.
Today he had a great game, or is it today? No, yesterday. I think this was yesterday. He had a
today. Yeah. I think it's today.
Today. Today. 19 points, 3 3-pointers, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, and shot 50% from the field. So
I think he's your best bet. I put some other players that I think might be a good addition, like Jeremy Lamb. If you're really in very deep leagues already, he's been playing better lately. So Jeremy Lamb is one player you could pick up to replace Donovan Mitchell. And as Jeremy said, a lot of people are posting their comments on our page about losing SGA, losing Donovan, or Jamal Murray. Then they have John Collins. They have this and that. They have 5 to 6 injuries, and their playoff is coming up. So what should you do? And I think that's one thing we could give an advice to them, what they should do with that situation.
SGA, you mentioned, is already a drop because he'll be evaluated in 2 weeks. So that makes it technically week 19 probably.
Technically week 19. Yeah.
Week 19, he'll probably be evaluated on start of week 19. If all goes well, I don't think he'll play immediately, right? He'll probably need a week So probably the best case scenario I feel for SGA is week 20.
Yes, the last week.
And by that time, I don't think they'll even play him already still, because how many games would OKC have?
SGA, it doesn't matter anymore. Week 20, whether it's your finals or whatever,
Yep.
I don't think you should hold SGA until that time. Right now, he's a drop number 1 if you have SGA. Jamal Murray, of course, is a drop. So let's not talk about those players you lost already. Let's talk about the players that should be still there that are injured. Let's say you have Collins, you have
Let's talk about
Donovan,
Harden first. I guess the easier ones are Harden. Harden is expected to be back next week.
Yeah, he's expected to be back. No, I mean he's
going to be evaluated.
Supposed to be healing well, so there's a possibility for next week. But these players, whether it's Harden, Collins, or whatever, if you have 2 ILs, just put 2 of the safest or the earliest players to come back in your IL. And then the others that you have to drop, just drop. And then, as we said, we're giving some options, some players that could approximate a little bit the stats that the other players you lost can give you. Or go for 5 categories. Like I've been talking to one of our followers also about how to target categories, and that's what he is in the finals next week. He's in the finals next week, and he's playing Steph Curry. Steph Curry, Harrison Barnes. The opponent is a small ball because he has pure shooters. He has Kobe White. I think that opponent also has Kobe White. Just picked up Kobe White. It's a small ball thing. And he's already planning. He dropped a lot of his shooters. He dropped Joe Harris. He dropped a lot of his 3-point shooters because it won't
help him. He
probably
would lose, right?
So he's just concentrating on 5 categories, which is what we are planning right now. I'm telling him, okay, which categories you should go for. And that's what he's doing. And if you've lost a lot of players, I think that's the only way you could possibly win.
Like I said, in one league, I don't have Kawhi this week. That's my first pick. I don't have Holmes. He didn't play. That's pretty much a big chunk of what, and I am up by 1 block. So I think I have a chance there because I still have total for 1 game. Well, Brook doesn't give much, but he's there, so he's still big. So he might give me a couple of blocks hopefully tomorrow. And then Larry Nance is there, and I was against Steph, so I just let go of the threes. I didn't care about the threes. I didn't care about, I think the free throws not there anymore. Although I think I'm still leading the free throws if I'm not mistaken. But
that's what you do. I mean, if you're playing a Steph-led team, threes and free throws doesn't matter anymore. That makes adding easier. Because if let's say there's Dwight Howard. Dwight Howard missed today's game, but I'm saying if there's a player like Dwight Howard who should be available, let's say he becomes healthy and he plays the next game, you can just pick him up because you're not going to think about free throws anymore.
Yep. And I also picked Nick Claxton, who didn't do much but gave me 1 block today, and that might have been the difference maker.
Yeah, Nick Claxton actually in 12 to 14 team leagues is a very good streamer for the categories that Jeremy said. Blocks, steals, rebounds. And again, for competing against a powerhouse team that has many stars, these are the players you should concentrate on. The players who doesn't score a lot, because you could just give up the points.
Yep.
Just give up the points and then just go for field goal, rebounds, blocks, steals, and turnovers. You're already winning. That's already 5.
Yep. Another helpful thing that I did against the opponent is I observe how many moves he makes. I watch how many moves he makes, what types of moves he makes, because if he's gonna add another scorer, that won't, worry me. But if he was able to observe that, I was battling in other categories, then I would have to ramp up my adds or see, right?
That's a veteran move.
Let's say if he adds Kobe White, I wouldn't be scared because I know I'm gonna lose in threes and points, so that wouldn't really scare me. But if he adds a player like who are in the blocks, maybe Tristan Thompson, that would scare me a bit because Tristan Thompson might give you 2 blocks in a game. That might, and that move for him could be a wasted move. So now that I knew he wasted the move, I don't really have to move as much because I feel that some of my players, I have Potel, I have Brook Lopez, I have Larry Nance. Some of these players can give me blocks. So why should I move as fast as him?
Yeah, that's a veteran move. Actually, that's something also that's a good advice. Always follow the moves of each other. Just write it down and then see how he moves so that you'll know what his strategy is. You'll see it when he makes his moves. You will see it what he adds, as Jeremy said, and then you can adjust as you go along.
Yep.
Sometimes you pick someone up just so he could not get that player. Sometimes
I just
it's like
did that today.
Yeah, just sometimes it's like that today. Sometimes you say, okay, this guy, he needs him more than I do, so I'll pick him up. He can help me, but he can help him more. If there's somebody else that could help me, but this one can hurt him, so I'll pick him up.
Just to share, I was talking to Komish about Killian Hayes a while ago. If I should pick him up for tomorrow, I am down 1 steal. I have 2 moves left. The opponent has 1 move left, so that I have an extra move over him. So I felt that if I don't pick him up, and then that manager uses that 1 move on Killian Hayes, and he does 4 steals tomorrow, that would be a killer for me. So I just told Komish that I'll probably just pick him up so that the opponent won't pick him up, even if he has that, because he has that 1 move. If he doesn't have that 1 move, I'll probably not pick Killian Hayes because he might not play tomorrow, right? Because it's
too
a
risky.
back-to-back, right?
Yes.
It's a risky move. So I felt like, okay, I'll just pick up. I also asked if I should pick up Juan Toscano Anderson, but then again, JTA is not a player who gives too many steals, right? Not.
Yeah.
So still, that Killian Hayes can be picked up by the other manager. So just to be sure that he doesn't pick him up, I'll just pick him up, and we both now have 1 move. So let's see. May the best team win based on that 1 move, right? So that's another strategy that you can do when adding and dropping players. So yeah, there. So let's go back to injuries. Harden, Lillard is out today.
Lillard is out. It's a hamstring thing, so I'm kind of worried because I hope it's.
If you look at the trend of players having hamstring injuries, it's not good.
Harden, Durant, Holmes, now Lillard. But I hope it's, Holmes started as just tightness, right? And he's been out for a long time already. So I hope Lillard's is not as severe.
Yeah.
And the Blazers are fighting for a playoff spot, not like the Kings. So I hope he comes back soon because he's an integral part of a lot of my teams. So there.
But obviously, these players are not drop players. They are definitely, except for SGA maybe. John Collins, there's really no news about John Collins.
Last week, it said 1 more week. And that is, the 1 week is now, April 17. So we're waiting. Tomorrow, there should be some new updates on John Collins.
I guess it's safe to say probably next week.
Yes. He should be back next week.
Mid of next week, probably. That's the best case scenario for him. I don't think he'll be back early next week. All right, let's talk about the Bulls a bit. Like we said, Lavine, as everyone knows, Lavine is out for a couple of weeks at least. And today we saw, and as we said yesterday, Kobe White is the player that could produce the scoring, and he did. But they didn't have Thomas Satoransky today. So that's another question mark still.
And then they started Daniel Tays. Over Tad Young.
So these are some adjustments that the Bulls made to compensate for the loss of Lavine. Now, among these players, who do you think will be the more consistent one? Kobe White, Daniel Tays, are they must players at this point?
Daniel Tays has been owned anyway. Tad Young has still been owned. Although a lot of people are kind of frustrated with him before today because he has been kind of subpar.
Yep.
Then this is an off the bench, going back to the bench situation. So I said he's not really a must roster right now. In the sense that if you are really in the in the last few days of your playoffs and you need the roster spot, I'm okay with dropping Tad Young. But I'm not saying that you just go out and drop him. But if you really need to drop someone and there's no other person there, Tad Young or Daniel Tays, you can drop these guys. He's in that tier. Now, Tad Young, 22 to 23 minutes, Tays also that much. That it's just not enough for them to be always consistent. Now, Kobe White, I still believe he will start even if Satoransky plays, but I may be wrong. So if he goes back to the bench when Satoransky plays, then he's not a real must add. But okay, it's an okay add. But if he's gonna start already going forward, then jackpot.
Do you think Kobe White will shoot as good as he did today?
No, but he can score 20 points every game from now on if he starts.
Okay.
He can give you 2 to 3 3-pointers.
Okay. So just
now on,
just to give the expectations on what Kobe White brings. The good thing about today is that he had a lot of assists today. I think he had 6 or 7.
Yeah, and that's because they don't have Satoransky.
Yeah,
right.
So,
they don't have Satoransky.
So you also have to know what strengths the players give, so that you know if you are fighting for field goal. Really, Kobe White might not be your guy, although he shot the ball well. Lauri Markkanen still not playing well. Still, what did Markkanen do today?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah, Lauri is a drop for me. Still a drop. Still not a must-own player. Yeah,
definitely. It's weird because he didn't do much again. He was 1 out of 7, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. Just played 20 minutes. So really, and I think they're time sharing his spot as well. Lauri Markkanen. So
yeah,
not a must add. So there, Garrett Temple or maybe Denzel Valentine. Are they rosterable or stream?
Not at this point. Stream, like I suggested, maybe Temple could be a steals guy. Maybe a little, the little things that maybe you're 1 steal behind, 2 steals behind. Maybe he could be that guy that gives you 3 steals. Something like that. But must add or no, not really.
All right.
There's Troy Brown, Denzel, Garrett.
There's just too much in that position.
There's too
many
much,
options. All right, that's the situation with the Bulls. Hope you were able to add Kobe White. Do you use your number 1 waiver priority for Kobe White?
If you need him, like if you lost, let's say Jamal Murray, if you lost Donovan Mitchell, I will use my number 1 priority on him because he can be sort of Jamal Murray for me if everything breaks right. I mean, I could
if he can happen. If he gets the same, pretty much he'll have the license to score every time.
Then but you don't have any other option, I assume, right? He's the best option, so you should get him if you need him. But if you have Steph, as you said, maybe not. Maybe not anymore.
So now let's talk about some players who maybe you own, but you must not be owning them anymore. Terrence Ross. I've actually recommended our friend Ryan Lau, to drop Terrence Ross already.
You should. The case with Terrence Ross is not about opportunity. The case with Terrence Ross, it looks like his heart is not into it anymore. He looks lackadaisical when I watch him play, and there was one good game the other day, but for the most part it's been single digits.
It's been bad.
Not shooting well.
He was better with the pre-trade deadline Orlando Magic. After that trade deadline, he has been bad. He hasn't really had a great run. Tyler Hero.
He's owned in 50% of the leagues, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or more. He's just owned in too much leagues at this point.
He is not a fantasy friendly player. Let's just put it at that.
Yeah, but if it was a bubble finals playoffs Tyler Hero, we could still see it. Like, okay, the explosion is there, the scoring is there. But right now, as I said, I gave some options there. Grayson Allen, even Dylan Brooks, even, I don't know, a lot of players, even Reggie Bullock, lots of players
Trevor
who could give you.
Ariza played well.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say Trevor is better than Tyler Hero, but
Yep.
but
But
they're the
right
same.
now,
I mean, right?
I mean the minutes even today, are not there. I mean, this could be a matchup thing, but for the big part of the year, Tyler Hero hasn't really been a good fantasy player.
If I own Tyler Hero and before Lou Dort, exploded, I would have made that switch already. Even if Lou Dort kills your field goal, Tyler Hero also kills your field goal. So Lou Dort is available in 12-team leagues. I'm just saying. In my 12-team leagues, Lou Dort is still available now.
Yeah.
And I think that's how much people are scared of his field goal.
And the thing is, Tyler Hero doesn't really give you anything consistent.
Yeah.
The scoring isn't consistent.
Yeah.
His rebounding isn't consistent. His assist isn't consistent.
It's not the same magic.
Defensive stats. Yep. And
even Miami.
And his role, we could even say that Kendrick Nunn over some games has been better than Tyler Hero.
Yeah. Actually, I have always said that I'm holding Kendrick Nunn over Hero, and Nunn didn't play that well also today. But I'm just holding. I'm holding.
Yep.
I'm keeping my faith because I know he's gonna turn it around at some point.
Yep.
So there.
So there, Tyler Hero. Seth Curry has been pretty bad. He's been bad since getting COVID. He hasn't been really good.
Seth is the one who's owned in 50% of the leagues. Tyler is owned in more. So Seth is owned in 50%. There, that's it. That's the guy, 50%. And I'm still shocked. Why in 8 of my leagues is only available in 1? I don't know.
Seth Curry didn't even play today.
Yeah, he I think he's injured or something. But even if he plays, look at the box scores, look at the stats. He's not helping at all. And those players I said that can replace Tyler Hero, as the same thing, can replace Seth Curry. Killian Hayes, as Jeremy said, Corey Joseph, even if Corey Joseph is resting or whatever, they're still better than Seth at this point.
Yeah. And the last is Monte Morris.
He got injured. Hamstring
got injured
also
today. So that means, is it more run for Facu?
If Monte is really injured, yes, that would be more run for Facu. But I don't recommend an ad. I don't recommend Facu as an ad. Monte is also not a must add anymore, must hold. You can drop him. Use the spot as streaming spot. Best case scenario for Monte is a roto guy, doesn't turn the ball over much, doesn't hurt you with field goal. He's just a solid, solid point guard.
Efficiency player, like we said before. Yeah. He's an efficiency player. He's not a counting stats kind of guy.
There is no one to add in the Jamal Murray injury, the wake of the Jamal Murray
injury. Yep.
At this point.
Going back to Seth Curry, I was just looking at the box scores. Furkan Korkmaz probably has played better in the past week than Seth Curry. I mean,
even Shake
multiple threes, scored 20 points in a couple of games. He scored 18 today with 5 threes. So I think that's
even Shake
numbers.
Milton.
And Korkmaz gives you more stats than Seth Curry.
Yeah,
like he can steal, he can assist, he can rebound. Seth Curry is probably just more of a 3-point specialist.
Yeah, but Seth was really good when he was hot. He was really good.
Yeah,
because he shoots the ball well. He shoots the ball very well. So that's the problem. Right now he's in a slump, and then without that elite stat that he usually gives you, then he drops really, really low, really down.
So again, these types of decisions, dropping these types of players, I guess it will be easier when it comes to the playoffs.
Yeah.
You'll probably, because there's no tomorrow, right? Like,
yeah.
If you drop Terrence Ross, that's it. If you don't drop him tomorrow, you might not be playing anymore. So next week, you might not be playing anymore. So just go with the hot players, pick up, stream your slot instead of waiting for Terrence Ross to come back, because there's no time to wait. at this point.
Yeah.
And
Agree.
you'll probably, since you've thought about it, you'll probably regret not doing it if you lose. So yeah, I guess that's really how the playoffs go. Just take it a week or a day at a time, and don't be too attached to the players that you hold, right?
Yes.
Except for the top level players like Harden. You might just be dropping Harden or Lillard after watching this, but no, don't do that. Don't do that move. All right. So that's it for this daily fantasy quickie. We really don't talk much about the players anymore because it's all about strategies right now for the playoffs. And even if you're positioning for the playoffs, we talked about some of the things that you can do to plan out your week, next week, and the following weeks. All right, we'll see you again tomorrow for another daily fantasy quickie. Don't forget, we will have a weekly episode to be released probably tomorrow or Monday morning. We will have, should I say it? Isaac Go, the Gilas Cadet. Tomorrow on our weekly episode. All right, guys. Bye.